This is Afghanistan, a war-torn country, and they are in the process of constructing an enormous canal, which is set to become the largest in Asia, spanning an impressive 285 kilometers, 177 miles. Afghanistan, a landlocked country in Central Asia, has long been plagued by conflict and struggles. They have experienced numerous invasions and conflicts throughout its history, often serving as a battleground for regional and global powers. And now, due to changing climate patterns, the lack of water has hit the agricultural sector hard, leading to food shortages and economic hardship for many Afghan families. The need to address these issues has led to the Qosh Tapa Canal project, which aims to divert water from the Amu Darya River to irrigate the country's dry northern plains. But what does this mean for the region and the world? Can they pull it off without any assistance from the world? And how will it impact the local ecosystem and geopolitical relationships? Let's dive into the details. Afghanistan's dependence on foreign aid for food underscores the urgency of the Qosh Tapa Canal project. The country's local food production is insufficient to meet the needs of its population, resulting in acute food insecurity for approximately 20 million people, with 6 million on the brink of famine. Unlike its South Asian counterparts, Afghanistan does not benefit from the monsoon rains. Instead, it relies on sporadic rainfall and snowmelt to sustain its rivers. Unfortunately, decades of war and a degraded hydrological management system have exacerbated water scarcity in the country. In 2021, Afghanistan faced one of its worst droughts in decades due to low snowfall, further exacerbating the water crisis. The Qosh Tapa Canal, with its potential to transform barren land into fertile farmland, offers hope for addressing these pressing issues. The concept of the Qosh Tapa Canal is not new. Conceived initially in the 1970s under the first Afghan president, Mohammad Daoud Khan, the project's construction finally commenced in 2021 under the last president, Ashraf Ghani. The Taliban, after seizing power in August 2021, started working on the canal in early 2022 and approved about $100 million for its construction. This amount represents approximately a quarter of Afghanistan's yearly tax income. The canal, named after the Qosh Tapa district in the Jawzjan province of Afghanistan, is a massive engineering feat, spanning 285 kilometers in length and 100 meters in width. In January 2023, it was revealed that the project was well underway, with the Taliban releasing a video showcasing the progress. With approximately 100 kilometers already completed, the canal is well on its way to becoming a reality. Over 5,500 people are currently engaged in the construction of the canal, working at approximately 120 sites simultaneously. More than 3,300 units of machinery are being utilized to expedite the project, with over 200 local companies serving as subcontractors. The estimated expense of the first phase of the project is around $91 million, and for the subsequent stages, they plan to generate funds through the sale of mines, particularly the Dari Suf mine. The project is expected to be completed well ahead of the original 2028 timeline, potentially by 2025. Upon completion, it is projected to irrigate 550,000 hectares, more than 2,100 square miles of barren land. This development could potentially increase Afghanistan's arable land by a third, making the country self-sufficient in food production for the first time since the 1980s, a significant milestone for a nation challenged by food insecurity. The project is also expected to provide employment for around 250,000 Afghans in Jawzjan, Balkh, and Faryab provinces. While the canal promises to bring much-needed relief from drought and food shortages, it also represents a significant test for the Taliban's ability to govern. The canal will be built and financed not by international aid but by Afghanistan's revenue from domestic coal mines. However, experts warn that the country could face challenges not only in constructing the mega canal but also in operating it. Concerns have been raised about the canal's design, which has not been sealed with concrete, allowing briny groundwater to seep into the fresh water meant for irrigation. The Amu Darya River, the source of the Qosh Tapa Canal, is one of the major water bodies in Central Asia. It originates from the confluence of the Panj and Vaksh rivers. The river meanders across several countries, including Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan, and Tajikistan, before draining into the Aral Sea. The Amu Darya has been a crucial water source for the region for centuries, providing water for agriculture, industry, and domestic use. However, due to climate change and increasing demand, the river's flow has been diminishing, causing concerns for the countries dependent on it. While the Kosh Tapa Canal project offers hope for addressing Afghanistan's water and agricultural challenges, however, it will have far-reaching effects beyond Afghanistan's borders. The canal, once operational, could divert up to a third of the Amu Darya's flow, potentially affecting the water availability in downstream countries like Uzbekistan and Turkmenistan. The reduction in the flow of the Amu Darya could pose significant challenges for these countries, particularly for their agricultural sectors that heavily depend on the river. Furthermore, the diversion of water could exacerbate the existing ecological crisis in the region, particularly around the Aral Sea, which has been shrinking due to excessive water extraction from its feeder rivers, including the Amu Darya. Moreover, the canal could potentially lead to widespread salinization, both within Afghanistan and across the region. The canal's construction could disrupt the existing hydrological balance, leading to a rise in groundwater levels and salinization of agricultural lands. This could have repercussions beyond Afghanistan, affecting farming downstream of the canal. The construction of this canal also brings to the fore the complex issues of water rights and regional cooperation. Afghanistan, despite being a riparian state, has not been part of any regional or international treaties on the sharing of transboundary river waters, including the Amu Darya. Water allocation in Central Asia is regulated by the Almaty Agreement, which was signed by Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, Turkmenistan, and Uzbekistan in 1992. The agreement upholds water quotas set under the Soviet Union, despite changes to national boundaries. Unfortunately, Afghanistan was excluded from this agreement, leading to the current predicament. Afghanistan, preoccupied by internal conflict, has long struggled to assert its claims over transboundary water resources. It has been suggested that Afghanistan should be included in international agreements, and that bilateral and multilateral agreements on water use in the Amu Darya Basin should be reached to avoid future conflicts. The water crisis in Central Asia is a complex issue. The region has been grappling with the twin challenges of climate change and water scarcity. According to the Interstate Commission for Water Coordination of Central Asia, the combined impact of low water levels and the construction of the Qosh Tapa Canal could reduce the Amu Darya's flow by 50%. This could lead to increased regional tensions and amplify the impacts of climate change already affecting the region. This has led to concerns among Afghanistan's neighbors about the potential impact of the canal on their water resources. Uzbekistan, the primary downstream country potentially affected by the canal, has already expressed concerns about the impact of the canal on its agriculture. In light of these concerns, there have been calls for Afghanistan to be included in regional water agreements. This would entail negotiating water-sharing agreements that are mutually beneficial and consider the interests of all countries involved. The recent request by Uzbekistan for talks with Afghanistan about the Qosh Tapa Canal is a positive step towards promoting regional cooperation in sustainable water management. However, these negotiations will need to be delicate, taking into account the water needs of all countries involved and the potential environmental impacts of the canal. If managed well, the Qosh Tapa Canal could indeed be a game-changer for Afghanistan, addressing its chronic water scarcity and food insecurity. However, its success will largely depend on the Taliban's ability to navigate the intricate maze of regional cooperation, environmental sustainability, and diplomatic negotiations. As construction on the Qosh Tapa Canal continues, the world will be watching closely to see how this ambitious project shapes the future of Afghanistan and its neighbors. Only time will tell if this mega project will succeed in its lofty goals. But for now, it stands as a potent symbol of Afghanistan's aspirations for a brighter, more prosperous future. That's it for today's episode. Thank you for watching.